you've been having a wonderful, wonderful week. And even if not, that's okay too, little bunny. I'm not having a good week. You want to join me in not having a good week? We can smile together about how hilarious it is to have a bad week. And you may say, Daddy, are you absolutely insane? After a bad week, you're supposed to cry and pout. If you want to cry and pout, little bunny, you better snuggle up onto my chest and cry and pout on my chest and get all those tears out. And then we can laugh together at how bad our weeks were. No, see, already it's better just having you here. God, you instantly lift my mood, little bunny. Instantly. And that's you. That's literally you. Not even 5 minutes ago, I had a frown on my face, and you're already making me smile. Can you believe that, little bunny? Thank you. Give yourself a little pat on the bunny back with your bunny paw. Sound good? And you may say, but Daddy, what did I do? All I did was press play. It was a one action thing that you did. To that, I say, little bunny. Easy, right? Easy to make me smile. How lucky for you. How lucky for you to bring someone joy so easily as to just be here in my presence. So thank you, little bunny. I have a topic for us, but I think we'll meander our way there. However, seems natural. And I have with me a nice summer beverage, the ultimate human classic, water. But not just any water, little bunny. Do you know how absurd it is to have ice water in the summer? Are you kidding me? It is so hot today, and I have some freaking ice cold water. Let me just sip it. Wow. Actually, the ice is all melted. That's how hot it is here. And you may or may not be able to hear my air conditioning, but you know what, little bunny? It is ridiculous that I have such high standards for you. I want you to have not even the sound of an air conditioner get in the way of me saying, hey there, little bunny, as pristine and purely as possible into your wonderful, worthy bunny ear. Okay, oops, but then he goes and coughs. Well, little bunny, man, how can I help you this week? Beyond just already making you smile so much more easily than you thought. Can you believe how easy it is that I can get you to smile? How powerful am I, little bunny? Such incredible power this man has. Well, I guess I should always, within like the first 5 minutes, mention the locked section of the garden, which is the Patreon. But there is no locked audio this week, little bunny. I decided to give myself, because it has been a hard week, to give myself this week off for the locked audio. So that means you'll have to go through the library of like 50 to 100 special locked audios of all different varieties. If the podcast is kind of like the nice standard thing that you get at the restaurant every time, it's like, you know what you're going to get with the podcast. It's going to be great. It's reliable. It's always there. The locked audios are the opposite. It's not like a bunch of more podcast episodes. I try and come up with a completely different concept every single time, unless there's a request for a sequel. So then I might do that one more than once. So if you're between the ages of 18 and 800, 18 to 800, then you can join the locked section of the garden. There's a link in the episode description. You can go to the link tree. Oh, God, I hate that tone of voice I used. Let me observe this, little bunny. Let me point this out. What did I say just now? You can find that in the episode description. There's a certain kind of cadence that people online, at least in this year, tend to have. Like, hey, everybody, welcome back. And be sure to smash that like and subscribe button. Nobody talks that way, right? Nobody does this special kind of way of speaking that's like broadcasting to in influencer broadcasting. I hate it. So I shall atone for my sin of speaking in influencer broadcast voice. We can coin it that, influencer broadcast voice. Do you know what I'm talking about? There's this kind of fake way of speaking, like, hey, everybody, welcome back to the channel. Like, what is that? What is that little bunny who speaks like that? So that's influencer broadcast voice. Okay. If I ever catch myself speaking in influencer broadcast voice, that's a sign that I need to slow down and connect with you, specifically, little bunny. This is really how the garden magic works. I really mean this. I don't do anything that's not just you and just me. In fact, I want you to get back on my chest here. Really get on my chest, little bunny, okay? You can imagine if you need. I'm really holding you here. I have my hand on my chest. Stroking you with my thumb, stroking your hair. I just want you to almost just doze off here on my chest. I'm leaning back a little bit. And if you try really hard, little bunny, this is how the magic goes two directions. If you try really hard to be on my chest, then I can feel you. It's got to be you. Okay. Be on my chest, little bunny. Really imagine yourself here. Can you feel me stroking your hair? Yes. Lightly with my thumb. I love you, I love you, I love you, little bunny. And I've got you. We just might sit for a bit. There's no rush in anything. No rush. Just calm. Just peace. So the topic we're going to meander to is really the question of, why should you walk out of your front door? Odd question, right? As I was preparing for the episode, I wanted to do an episode on fear. And not like fear of danger, but more fear of social interactions, fear of letting other people down. And if those fears are too strong, or rather, if the rewards of overcoming those fears aren't strong enough, then you might just find yourself staying home. No risk if you don't leave your front door, isn't that right, little bunny? You can just stay home. And you can, if you're worried about letting other people down, well, you can just avoid taking on any kind of responsibility in life. Look at that. And then that's the solution, isn't it? Is don't go out and interact with people and don't take on any responsibility. And boom, you have solved it, little bunny. You have solved the fear. of social interactions with strangers and people like that, strangers and acquaintances. And you have solved the issue of not needing to let anyone down. Isn't that wild? So, when I was doing my prep for this, I was like, well, hold on a second. I guess it's up to me to inspire you, little bunny, that perhaps it is worth it to brave those social interactions, strangers and acquaintances. And maybe it is worth it to brave taking on some responsibility. Sometimes we have responsibility thrust upon us, don't we? Sometimes you may be in a situation, little bunny, and I don't know your situation, but you may be drowning in responsibility. You're like, Daddy, I have so much responsibility that I don't know what to do. Yet the inverse may also be true, little bunny. It's possible that you just don't really maybe you don't feel there's so much significance in whether or not you leave the apartment, leave the house. To me, there is significance about whether I sit down right now and make you a podcast episode, even if I'm having a bad week, right? And you know what the responsibility of making the podcast does for me, little bunny, even when having a bad week, is that I'm having the best part of my week right now with you. This is the most peaceful part of this specific week. I'm going to the beach this weekend. And I think that right now being here with you is more peaceful than even relaxing on the beach. And it's funny, that's responsibility that I'm taking on. It's a very fun responsibility. And I suppose I have the fear of letting you down, little bunny. You think I don't worry about sitting down here and giving you a shitty podcast episode? You know? It's like, hold on, there's a lot of mechanical sounds now around me. I really hope this air conditioning doesn't ruin the episode. But if you can hear the air conditioning, let's think of it as the waves, right? But yeah, I suppose I have a fear of giving you a bad episode. Fear of letting you down, little bunny. How do you respond to that? You being a source of fear for me that I might let you down. If you're like, Daddy, it's no big deal. You're not going to let me down. Well, guess what, little bunny? Maybe you should take your own advice. Do you have people that you're worried of letting down? Whether it's a sibling or coworkers or just friends or whomever, a partner, you're worried of letting them down. It's like, I guess I'm worried of letting you down, little bunny. And if you think, oh, Daddy, it's not that big a deal, then maybe those people you're afraid of letting down. In fact, most likely, they're like, little bunny, it's not a big deal. Yeah. Imagine if the iconic one of wanting to live up to someone's expectations is if you ever went through the college application process. It's like this huge source of anxiety in the junior and senior year of high school in the US. Is when you have to apply to like all these different universities if that's the route that you're going. And there's like this ranking of universities, you know, and of course your parents want to live vicariously through you. They've already given up on their own dreams, and they just want to be like, no, my kid got into the best school of this or that. Yeah, and so now you've got to live up to your parents, because damn it, they've already given up on their dreams, so now you've got to fulfill their dreams for them, right? Little bunny, no matter what college you get into, no matter if you choose not to go to college, by the way, is what we call university in the US. Yeah, I love you just the same, little bunny. I love you just the same. If you wanna do coloring book school, okay, I'm gonna be so happy and proud of you. I'm gonna request that you send me what you color in. Yeah, okay, coloring book university. All right, little bunny, I will be happy, thrilled if you go to coloring book university. What are some other ways that you literally cannot let me down? Like if you tried to let me down, you could even say mean things to me, little bunny. As long as you come back, you're like, oh my God, Daddy, I totally regret that. I'm so sorry. I'll be like, don't worry about it, little bunny. Don't worry about it at all. And if you say mean things and leave, then I'll be like, meh. But I won't hate you. I'll just have like a bad taste in my mouth. You'd have to really, really, really try to make me hate you, little bunny. In fact, I don't know if it's possible. So yeah, it's impossible for you to lose my love. It's impossible for you to disappoint me. So, no fears here, right, little bunny? Garden is a fear-free place, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, let me take a more sip of water. Hold on. The coaster is stuck to the cup. Such a nice beverage. Let me ask you a question, little bunny. Does water have a flavor? Because I would have always said yes. But now I'm wondering if it's just a temperature and like a texture. So it's this liquidy texture. And it's the temperature. Is it anything beyond that? Is it just the temperature and the texture? Or is there actually a flavor to water? I mean, definitely different waters. Like if you try different bottles of water, they do taste different. But those might just be like little minerals in there. Oh my God, what if my beverage for an episode is distilled water? Distilled water, by the way, is purely H2O. And it is useful in science and in like steamers so that this grime stuff doesn't build up. But what if the beverage is specifically distilled water? That's kind of an insane person beverage. I don't even know if it tastes any different. Maybe it tastes bad. Oh my God. I think I have to do it now. Let me put it distilled water. Okay. Maybe this is not as funny to you as it is to me, which is completely valid. I also can't find my phone, so you're just going to have to remind me. If too many episodes go by and I haven't had some distilled water, what if I make ice cubes with distilled water and have distilled water with distilled water ice cubes? And that will settle the question of whether water has flavor. Is H2O a flavor? Ugh. I think it must be, right? I think it must be a flavor because table salt is a molecule, right? It's some kind of molecule with lots of sodium in it, right? That has a flavor. So why a molecule of H2O, two hydrogens and an oxygen? I don't see why that wouldn't have a flavor, right? What do you think, little bunny? I need your input on this. This is very important garden questions. I'm not going to be able to go to sleep at night. Turning over these difficult daddy questions in my head. Little bunny. I'm imagining that it's like a cocktail ingredient. I don't know if you ever drink cocktails, they have like all these different ingredients that you don't even know what half of them are. And then like one of them is like distilled water. Okay. All right. What are we doing here? What are we even doing, little bunny? We are telling my little bunny's secrets. You want me to tell you a secret, little bunny? Will you keep this secret if I tell you? Okay. I'm going to tell you a secret, little bunny. I have just recorded and deleted and recorded and deleted and recorded and deleted a bunch of times trying to make a good podcast episode for you. Just right now. Just since the beginning of these past 60 seconds. I've tried to record maybe like 5 different versions of what to say next. You know that little secret? Sometimes I stop if I'm like, what the fuck am I even talking about? That's how it'll go. I'll be rambling, and then I'll just say like, what the fuck am I talking about? I'll pause and I'll rewind and I'll hit play again. Did you know that? Every podcast episode, well, not everyone. I'm more guilty of this sometimes than others. Many podcast episodes are secretly longer, but I stop and go back, delete stuff. Mostly just if it's bad, you know. But you're like, no, daddy, every second is precious with you. And I say, yes, little bunny. But I still want to do good for you. Oh my God, little bunny. See, even I'm not immune to the fear of not wanting to let down others. But I guess for me, I don't experience it as a fear. It's just kind of a game, just laughing along the way. You know, you're going to be happy with no matter what. And if there's people that have like, if there's someone whose love for you is very fragile, I don't know what to say, little bunny, but that's not the love that I like to operate with in my life. Beware fragile love, my God. Beware fragile love, little bunny. Maybe that's where some of this fear comes from. The fear of letting down others. Either the person you want to let down has fragile love for you, or perhaps more likely, much more likely, is you might think these people's love for you is fragile. But it's really, really durable after all. That's why I'm not afraid of giving you a bad episode. I certainly will do everything I can to not give you a bad episode, but I don't feel fear from it, because ultimately I know your love for me, little bunny, is not fragile. My love for you is also durable. There are so many sounds right now going around me. I really should turn off this air conditioning. There's like an air conditioning and a refrigerator. We're trying to get this freaking wall put up to really isolate the garden library from the rest of the apartment. But you know how it goes. So this got to be signed off, and that's got to be signed off, and then you got to get the insurance, for the board to approve this and then that, so the city permit. And it's like, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. So anyway, oh no, Daddy's ranting about very daddy things, home improvement stuff, and stupid challenges that are associated with it. Oh, little bunny. I hope this helps, right? Don't worry about letting other people down. If they're really great people, they still will love you no matter what. And if their love for you shatters, that's probably for the best, Let's find you some better people. But in all likelihood, people's love for you, 92% likelihood, is much, much more durable than you think. Okay, boom. We got that one. Now, how do we solve fear of strangers? I do have a podcast episode on this called Social Anxiety is Not Permanent. So you could find out which number that was. Maybe I should do that one again. Maybe I'll save that for another episode. I guess I'll just end with, if you have the malaise, little bunny, you have the malaise, and you don't feel like leaving your apartment or your house or your home, maybe that is a sign to take on some responsibility. Take on some responsibility with people who give you durable love. You want proof that works? I feel the best I felt in days right now with you, little bunny. So, the responsibility of committing that I will do a podcast every week, even if I have a shitty week, seems to be working in my favor, doesn't it? Maybe it'll work for you too. Okay? I'll hit you up with some more how to get over social anxiety of strangers and acquaintances. But I think we'll leave the episode there. Little bunny. I'm going to get to bed. I will wake up tomorrow morning. I promise. And I will write you a brand new poem that is just for you for this episode. All right? Wish me a good night, little bunny. Wish me good sleep. Wish me to not be kept awake wondering what distilled water tastes like or whatever it was. Okay. I love you. Good night. Good morning, little bunny. I slept interestingly well, I guess. Whatever that means, Daddy, right? Okay. I have a fun poem for you. And it goes like this. Sorry for these wire sounds. These sounds like this. It's like when the wires are like rubbing up against stuff. Okay. I am in a tangle of wires and I hate it. Okay. Here's your poem. I'm so thrilled you got into coloring book university. I always knew that you would make me proud. And I'm so sorry you thought you could ever disappoint me. Drop that and cheer with me out loud. Have a great week, little bunny. Truly have a great week. I love you. I love you. I love you. And if it doesn't work out, if the week sucks, then it's okay too. I'm here for you. I love you. I love you. I love you.